and welcome back to part 8 of the Enterprise NX-01 build. Today we're going to start on the AZTEC masking. It's pretty exciting, a part I always look forward to. Probably going to break it up into 2 sections per, half of the saucer. Top half will do 2, episodes, and then the bottom will do 2 episodes. That way we can show everything, but it's not, hours and hours long. I think it's already going to be an hour just for part 1 of this, so but I like showing the whole thing, and we ran into some little issues, but we got through it. So let's get over to the bench and get started. Alright, here we are, getting ready to start doing some AZTEC patterns on this NX-01 top saucer. I have my I primed it, and I got my base coat down. This is my darker shade that I'm going to use, and then we can put the masks, which I got from AZTEC dummy here. Start putting those down. Most of the stuff that he has is all for here. Here I'm going to make up some spots here to leave. There's no real, distinct pattern for up on here, so I'll pick a few spots and panels. I think I'm going to do some of the raised stuff. It does give you one, I think, for here, but I think I'm going to go for just picking some of the raised panels, since most of the raised panels on this are, like in this area especially, and here I think as well, have some blocking there for that darker shade, for this shade here. So I'm going to kind of come up with my own thing right here. I'm not going to go crazy on this part, just pick a few things here and there. But he's got all the rest here. There's instructions, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. So this side is the back. It gives you some extra stuff, so you can do some different shadings in different areas of the ship, as you see fit. So that's great. Take a look at some of those pieces, see if any of those will work for up in here. I guess you could extend them all along, but I think mainly I'm just going to have a few here, because on the hull part, here, I have those shapes here, but already, done with this color. And I think I'm just going to pick, little pieces here and spray those on, now that I have kind of the opposite direction of I want this. Now this I did the same way. I did this color first, then put the mask on, and then sprayed the hull color, more silverish pewter color. I think I'm going to hit some of these panels going up like that, and these things here that look like little E's. And I'll look at certain pictures and see what I can find, but there's not much going to be on these. And same thing with the engines. I'm just going to pretty much leave them alone. I think maybe adding, a light wash to fill in the panel lines will be fine enough. So. Alright, let's get started here and see what we got. Some instructions. It's pretty much kind of just go for it. Pretty self-explanatory. I used his AZTEC decals for the refit, and that had a little more explanation because of, the positive and negative thing going on. This is a little more straightforward here. Alright, let's see. Got to make sure we find the upper section. It's great because he did give some window masks with this version, which is awesome. I'm doing most of my painting with the windows not out, but when I do a final clear, sometimes I like to block them. Sometimes it's not a big deal to clear. Let's see what is what. Kind of gotta look off the picture to find out. This is definitely a top portion, I think. I'm noticing that. Yeah. Yep. I'm noticing that, which is something that kind of goes, I'm thinking, that way. Yeah, these are, that will go on that part. So it's kind of got to go, this is that section. Okay. And is this the other section? Yep. And that'll be, it goes kind of around like that. It ends up right, yeah, right at that piece. Alright, okay, so that's 2 of the top sections. And I'll just slice these extra pieces off. And these are extra pieces that he gave you. Yeah, and the windows. So there should be more though. This looks like that piece, and then of course there's some extras to make your own thing, which I can use for doing stuff like that. Not sure about what's with the little, it's going to be hard for you to see in a camera, but there's kind of like a row of rectangles and then they kind of widen. Not sure. But that might be how things go with the panels. Some of those would work right there. Okay, I get it, because these kind of matching some of the panels that are on there. So you're going to be the nose area. Alright. And this one is going to be this area here. So there's my 4 pieces, and then the rest of this should be all the bottom hull. Yep, which is a big circle. Yep. And with a bunch of extra little pieces. So yeah, those little panels he's giving me are I think gonna come in really handy. Alright, nice. Thank you, Lou. I could have got, like, I think there is some AZTEC decals for these, I think. But I want a little more contrast and kind of do my own thing, so I went with this kit. Now, where do I want to start? Up here? I think that's what I want to do. We're going to keep this one out. Near the nose. That's that side, and that's this side. I think another thing to make things less confusing. Just pinning this up here so it makes it so I can see, because it looks like there's some little bit of a thing we got to do. I'll have to read when we get to that point. Something about cutting here to patch up with a scrap. So we might have to stretch stuff. Looks like some of these maybe. Okay. We'll read on when we get to that point. Yeah, that's when we're going to start with. Nose, side. To make life a little easier, I'm gonna cut these spare pieces off the full sheet. That way I'm just dealing with what I'm working with. And windowed templates and stuff. I don't need any of that. here. I just leave those pieces. These spares off. Nose. So we'll probably jump from this into the nose. These are all things to make my own thing. We'll come back to those when I start doing that. Something here. And these are those pieces he has for there. Okay, so we'll keep that on the sheet. So a circle. Oh, okay. Goes down here somewhere. Right about in there. Okay. I see. This makes it a little easier to have when I want to work with. I'm not staring at all these shapes that I don't need right now. And then there's a cluster in the center here. I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, let's see. Right now, that's those. There's no rhyme or reason. So I guess for like these side things, I'll just judge from where it hits and bring it up. Because I want it to come right up, you know. I'll have to see how they lay down. So I don't want to go right up on there. I want a seam between them. So but let's do the more easier ones. It's good to have a sharp blade, and you want to grab a corner. Sometimes I like to use a pair of tweezers. These I see the plotter cut a lot more away from, like it almost took a piece out, so you can peel them up without them like pulling other parts up. And this is probably going to take a couple tries to get it down perfect. Go with my finger.
Hey everybody, you can see I've made it back from the spray view down. Here's our sauce that I came up with some nice bright white. That should really help that light bounce on the side of the nice and clean. And I'm starting to work with my LED tape now. I'm using some tape.
That went down pretty good.
This is not the double density tape. This is, I guess it's called single density or whatever it is. It's a standard tape. It does have
And try the other side. Yeah, I really like how these come up easier than the refits did. Sometimes it's just easier to do by with your fingers. Start, try to keep it square. And mostly once you get a square edge, you just let them fall down and they should fall. Square. Looks like I got a little bit of an angle going there. What are you doing, Brooke? Oh, that's Jack. That's my kitty making noise in his food dish. I'm liking that. There's 2 pieces down out of the many. I could probably pick that up and move it just a skosh. I will. These are coming up and moving pretty easy. So. Try, since it is vinyl, I don't want to stretch them. The whole thing, are you? That's better. Yeah, that's it. All right. Yeah, the fun ones are going to be these here. Because I'm not sure how they're going to sit first. Look at it from this angle over there. I think what it is they need more food, the kitties do. And they're bouncing the bowl around. Try to shake more down. It's one of those self-feeding things. Sometimes I try to go past it and then pull to it. Okay. Just getting in a place where I can see. More forward in that way. And you'll notice doing these, you get a little static action. Instead of being able to just come up and place it, you get that little static action where you start getting close to the model and all of a sudden it goes bloop. It wants to immediately stick on. Like I said, I'm being picky, so probably don't have to be as picky as I am. I am though noticing that the gaps here are not exact, but that's okay. Only supposed to be illusion. I figure I'll let you see these first few pieces, and then where's all those go? All up in here.
Actually goes here
On the ship itself. Oh, those are windows. Find a corner to get. Yeah, like I said, I definitely like how there's actually a gap between this and the rest of that vinyl there. So when you pull them up, you're not like, sometimes before you had to like pull at certain angles, like I can now just pull right up. On the refits, you had to kind of pull at certain angles because it was wanting to grab at the corners and stuff, like still stuck together. This is working much nicer. That one went down really smooth. Listen it. All right, there's 6 pieces there. I can't wait. I'm getting excited here. Do I want to tackle those pain in the butt pieces? And get them out of the way? Yeah, I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. And then looks like the circle is here, I think. Yeah. And I guess you just pick where you want it. And they're supposed to reach for. So yeah, let's try one. Let's see what we're in for. Yeah, see, that's much easier. Before you would have had to go right down each one of these things. How far forward? That pretty much goes to the scoop. So that's what we'll use as our start point. But I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a difficult one because it's flimsy. I wonder if I could do something like this. Yeah, that's good. I need to see how. Yeah, so we're going to want to go down to the hull. Let's see, did I get lucky and it's going to fall correct? No. I don't want that to go down on the saucer. I want it to, so it's like judging there. So I wanted that to be right at that seam. And also getting the height of this. At the same time. Once you get it, I think it's going to just fall down alright. If you're not angling at a weird angle. try to judge this by eye and see if all these fall down right. Actually, that was the way to do it. Judge your spacing here. Once you get this first one correct, this one can lift up because I think it's a little bent. This vinyl, you can kind of bend it to its will, to your own will. There we go. There it is. Wasn't too bad. And then there's a circle that goes down here. I'm just going to work my way up one row, I think. So we'll work up this side. And I guess I'll just make this where I want. Just kind of judge it. Kind of make it even between that panel, and that edge. But at the same point, maybe I can use that as a reference too. It's good enough. Not rocket science. And then the next is this piece that starts right with this and chug this way back. Alright. It looks like these are supposed to stay, like this is supposed to stay within that panel line, so I could cheat that back a bit. I might do that. That way it's all has a similar line to it. Look at some of my reference pictures. See what they show. Yeah.
Hi guys, Will here with TrekWorks again, and I've got something pretty interesting on my workbench today. You guys remember on my NX-01 build here, I'm using a couple of different systems to do my lighting on the model, and I'm using the Tenant control.
Good shot of power.
9 volts. I'm using Monster's motion lighting kit, which runs at 4.5 volts, and then I'm using the LED tape to light the saucer motor that is on the model, and that also requires 9 volts, so that presents a little problem where you have separate voltages, and I didn't want to run more than one power supply. I wanted to bring basic 9 volts in and drop that down to 4.5. Now there's a simple way you can do that. You can connect resistors across your power source, and you can cut your voltage in half.
I might just leave it like that. I'm happy with that.
But since the Monster's motion board is a chip control board, it's kind of sensitive, so I thought I might signal it. So that's kind of a
Just grab this piece. This is going to be another fun one because she's fairly long. Well, here's what I was talking about. I think with the, just getting a little overexcited how all the rest of them, but still it's coming up much nicer. I just got to pull it like that. It's coming up really nice. And those little, yeah, go that way. So I'm going to have to kind of do the same thing. Just judge that spacing there, because there's no panel line that give you a any reference.
So that's really, really simple and easy to use. It has a transistor on here. It's on a same couple different capacitors. So
Now, that's my only thing. It's gonna, I guess, supposed to wrap up on that there. Yeah.
Setting up here, I'll show you, we've got some more work on the saucer. I've got the right in there. I had some
That's what it's gonna have to do. I mean, I could put a straight edge down to a little bit easier to work with here. Just trying to keep all these little T-like symbols straight. It's getting hard to do. I'm starting to get affected by the curve of this piece here. Straight edge here. I could use a piece of tape. That would work too. You're getting affected by that curve piece more than the others, so you're not going to want to lay down correctly. I will use a piece of tape because I don't have to hold this. Makes it follow my line. I have to curve the tape. Alright. Just these two, because they're really starting to hit that back here. And I can give them a little squishy wiggle. You're actually good to get you down now. You can give them a little shove. Get them to twist right. There we go, like that. Before we lift that up, I'll save that for the other side, or any other part I need. Now, one part is going to be getting us to curve down into all this. So it's kind of, I think it's best to start back here where it's the most affected. Maybe a toothpick. That's going to be tough because it wants to stick. Really. Roll it. There you go. Yeah, that's interesting. such a complex bend unless I got that a little high. No, they're falling pretty good. Because I have that judge bike, that going up like that. It's riding that edge pretty good. Just trying to figure out how to get all this to fall down or roll down there smoothly. Trying to crease up areas. Because it's not, this is not a straight line. If it was a straight line, it would be, you know, it kind of does a, as well. Intriguing. You might just have to go with, I'm really liking that design there, because then it warps that so it's not correct. I'm trying to think how I could do this that it comes out right. Even just trying to roll in there, it's not like, you know, you can do with a water slide. Not working. It's doing fine once it gets past here, because the crease is right at the in the main part of the strip. But when I get further this way, the crease goes away. That's why I was thinking maybe I'm curving in. Not really. Maybe these I can align a little better. But like I said, that's stuff I can get. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, that looks okay. These, like I said, some of these T-tops might can twist, but that's just probably them doing this. I mean, that'll work. It'll still block what I want it to block. But I think this edge is going to get, because it's not in a spot that's making it happy. It's bothering me. I don't like that one, especially that last one. How can I get that in there tighter? I don't want to pick with this vinyl too much. It starts to want to tear. I got to get it to push down more. I think that's it. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. We'll catch up with you later. Until I see y'all, take care out there. Yeah, that's what it was. It's kind of bridging across like a webbing. It's better. Still this last piece here. You up and mess with you on your own. That might be the way to do it, is to get this part down and then flop them down. That might be the way to do it. We learn. Yeah, that made it better. Way better. Still on some type of alignment. Yep. Okay. So that's it. So there's the key. If you can actually get it down in there first and then slap these down, but then that makes it hard because you need to try to keep it level because there's no way to square off on this thing. You know, so that's why I needed to, because I wanted this to match this to start where these panels start. I want to keep the same spacing here when you don't have a panel line. So that works. So that's it. You gotta kind of get it started here to get this down, and then push this way without this sticking. And then these last couple, then you can lay. You know, you have to lift back up once you get your alignment, and then plop down. But that's working. That works for me. So. All right, what's our next obstacle? All right, these are these two squares go somewhere right here. No rhyme or reason. Got me looking at far. Let me get this right here. There's that hatch. This picture's showing two panel lines here, but there's not. So, but what I can see, I can go off of what ones it ends on. So this one square starts right in line with this edge, and the other one aligns with this way. So that's how we'll do it. And that makes sense. Put my tag back over there. We'll do the rear one first, I think. Why not? Where is it? Just kind of hanging out there in the middle. I guess we're keeping that. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So let's make a. Try to make a grid line. Like that. Have to be exact. Try to keep some uniformity. And this one started from here. That way. Looks like I got a little bit of looking at the spaces between the two squares. Got some leaning going on here. You're gonna come all the way up instead of. Let's see. Well, works enough for me. Close enough for summer stock. See, it's nice if I had panel lines, but there's none here. Kind of judging your spacing all by yourself. It's looking good. As long as I kind of keep some type of uniform thing going on. Okay, now where does this start? Kind of like right at this edge. But that can't be. So it's a little bit over. I wonder if I should start from the butt and I don't know if I can do that type of thing where I lay the whole piece down and then peel those up. Let me try that. Because the spacing he has is nice. It doesn't work for everything. Let me try something here. I'm just gonna grab scissors. These can be on their own, I think. Something I'm gonna try. Well, I don't know if I get all that. Because those. Let's see. Where's my other cut? It's hard to see. There it is. Yeah, and I'll use that as a spacing. Vertical off. Go off that. We'll leave a little bit of. Did I get through the paper? Probably not. Just focusing more on not cutting into. Cutting in any of the detail or the actual pieces I need. And I don't think I can do this because of the way he has them cut now. I don't think they're going to hang out. Because I won't be able to, I won't be able to. Unless I can use this as a template. Let's see if that'll work. There's all our pieces we want. Let's see how. I think it's going to be too stringy. Yeah. I tried. We're going to have to just pick the pieces and decide. That's going to fall somewhere about like that. So, oh well, I tried. I was hoping maybe. It's like, am I square or am I not? I don't know. I don't know.
Hi there again, everybody. Boy, back when you were Trek Works, I'm out here in the shop today working on the NX-01, putting these AZTEC decals on, and you can see I'm starting to get quite a bit of it done already. I've been working on it for about an hour or so. And
I said a lot of times if you just let it drop, it should fall the way it's supposed to. And I wonder if I got a shift.
my way around the sides here, what I'm about ready to do right now is put the NX-01 Enterprise name here.
That's about right. That one's falling at a crooked. Yeah, that's falling crooked. Are they supposed to end at the same spot? Ish. Yeah. So I need to move that up further. But there's something a little tweaked that I don't like. I'm thinking this piece needs to go down a little bit. I like how that's kind of fallen. So I think it's this piece. So that's the biggest problem, is you got two location points you got to try to hit. That's better. Trying to hit this point, so this kind of starts going up at the same time here. Yes, keep the same spacing and make sure that this ends about where that is. It gets a little crazy. Now I can move this one correctly. I gotta be careful, don't stretch the line. It'll stretch back, but you have to let it sit for a minute or two. But now it's like this one. Kind of got to judge off of this rear end here. In a sense, probably be easier to hit from this way.
Okay guys, it's been about another hour or so out here. I've got just about the entire top of this saucer covered up now. You can see progress there. It's just slow, tedious work, and what you're encountering when you're doing this is that you lay these down and get a little bit of build up here in these little crevices.
There we go.
Something else that'll fit there. Just kind of go in there and smooth those out as you go along. Try to get them.
I'm happy with that. I mean, I wish I could have got this down as a guide.
And there's a couple little air bubbles in here there. Hopefully those will settle down. What I'm planning on doing again, I mentioned before, after this is all done and dried overnight, it'll be clear coated again, maybe with 1 or 2 coats, and then I'll be able to
Kind of let me know if I'm kind of close
wet sand this.
to what, you know, the way he had it sitting on a sheet. It's close enough. Summer stock. I'm liking it. Some things are not going to be exactly, you know, spaced right, but that's just the nature of the way it is. You know, I could do guidelines, like in order to see where that is, I can go like this. Carry that line like that. So we'll place this. It has an edge. And this is the one that wraps kind of back there, but it is not reaching that far back unless I leave a bigger gap. I'm not going to go by that. It's like it's supposed to go around that window unless I don't have enough space there, which might be, all that could probably come down. I'm okay with that. Is that square? No, it is not. And I don't know why.
Down here you can see I have the sheet. Tomorrow I'll be putting the bottom side AZTEC-1 on. And putting these on.
So this is the fun part. You want to be careful. Well, sorry about my camera dying, the battery dying a little earlier. We were working, I believe, in this section here. And as you can see, I added this whole section right here. And started adding my own little thing to all this here. Did a little pieces over the grills that are there. Added some squares here. This one actually is in the kit. It's supposed to be there. Added some there. I got these pieces on. Pretty much mirrored everything from side to side. And then on the bridge section, actually started making a little pattern to kind of simulate with this pattern. So all I did is take the pieces that were here, the leftover, that kind of look like this, cut those and actually put them down as those pieces there. So I actually used these end pieces here, the other part of this, cut that out and laid it across there, and then took a thin strip, which was really from actually these that were separating those pieces, you know, like that bar there, and use that to give it a better straight edge, you know. And then this one runs into this piece here, so it doesn't go as far up, but I cut it so that it should line up. They should line up about the same, but I kind of like that. I gotta tape off all this section here, goes all the way around. I'm gonna do 2 bars and a third bar here. I'm gonna do 2, and then a little space, and then 1 way down here. What else? As far as the bridge area, we'll do these lines that kind of come out of the window hole in the bottom half and go down. But I'll do those pieces once I get this taped down, because it'll lay over top of that. I'm not sure what, you know, I might have something like this, all these little scrap pieces, or I might have some stripes left over from the refit, because he gave you a bunch of stripes, kind of like these thick stripes here. He gave you thinner ones. I think that will work. So I saved all that stuff, so I can use it here. And I think that's gonna be basically, I don't want to overdo these here. I'm gonna do a lot in this area. There's those little like a long square where I'm gonna do those. I think I'm just gonna tape them off and just cut them with a knife and do those. I think that would be cool. I might see if I can get something down in these to leave those. I think those will look kind of cool, darker. Because remember, the tin on top of it's going to be quite brighter. It's going to look like this. It's going to be our contrast. So I think it would kind of be cool to have them there. And I'm seeing how these little T's follow on here. I'll be painting them this color on this. And I think the E's make believe again, and maybe these little pieces here. I'm not going to do much, and maybe put a wash in here in these grills, in these grid lines to make them stand out. I might do a wash over the whole thing to make some of the panel lines stick out. I mean, this is a more of a kind of a primitive working starship, you know, compared to like the Enterprises that were more of an exploratory. Even though this was supposed to be an exploratory, it kind of got thrown right into a bunch of stuff right away. But I'm liking that, keeping it simple. I was gonna cut, you know, this panel kind of does like a square with a notch in it. I was gonna kind of use some of my Tamiya masking tape and cut that out, but I think it was better just to put a square right over top of it, you know, and it'll kind of not be exactly like the panel, which is something similar they do with the AZTEC-ing on the Enterprise. You know, you have ones that fit in the grid, but you do these other ones that just go wherever. You know, they can cross over panel lines, lay over top of each other. So that's kind of my thinking. Same thing that, you know, there. I think back here, I'm going to tape off this whole panel, and then I might do this one and this one, so that they stay the same shade, and mirror it on the other side, just to give some little more back here too. And I think from there, I don't know if I'll do anything back here. Well, here's another one of those little notchy things. Maybe I can find something that either tape that off or just lay a little square over top of that. You know, just to kind of bring that in. And these here, I could always go in and just hit with a brush. These here, because I see they're here too. You could always hit them with a brush so they're darker. So that's where they hole will connect. And that'll kind of make that look kind of neat. Because I think I was even going to hit these dark. And then these little T's will get hit. I think I'm going to hit those little things. If I know, see if a wash works. It already has a dark-ish kind of thing going on there, which is cool. And I'm going to hit these then impulse engine areas. But I definitely hit those E's. Probably hit that little triangle-ish thing. I don't know. Any of those things that he has will fit. Why not? No, I think that's too small. And I was wondering even if I do a couple of these grays up on there, but I want to keep that all kind of chilled out. I was thinking about hitting these for sure. Should have done that while I was actually painting it in the first place. But I might hit those pieces right there. And then they're on the other side too. So we'll see. It's looking good. I'm liking it. So lots to do. Taking more time than I thought, but this here and this side fought me more than the other side. Believe it or not, even though I had a kind of a plan, it fought me. Big time. That one actually went down better, but you know. Oh, and I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna tape off this grill here because I taped off this grill. This is actually a grill in there, just to make those a little darker. So, just so this doesn't look too plain, you know. And I know the ship itself has, you know, squares all over the place of different shades. And actually, you could really do this ship in 3 shades. A gunmetal and a tin and, you know, a steel or whatever your colors could be, but you could actually do 3 shades, you know, have things, you know, like this could be the darkest. You could have another light and then something even lighter than that if you really wanted to go crazy. But I think 2's enough. I did 5 colors, and actually the saucer, my refit, I started off with it like a 2-tone and then did the multicolors all on top of that. I did almost a gray like this, like a silverish gray. And then I did a color. Then I did the Aztecs on top. And then hit it with the pearl white. Lifted them off. Misted it lightly with the pearl white, so the silverish, I think it was a silver. It was a, you know, metallic silver. It wasn't so contrasty. So I misted it with the white pearl and then did all the coloring on top of that. So it kind of had that whole two-tone where it wasn't. Now the A, I think I'm going to do straight up. The Aztec is all the coloring. No dark and light. So. And that'll make them look different too, since they, from just a quick glance, they'll look the same except for color differences. Alrighty, so what do I want to tackle? I'm not looking forward to taking this all off. Nope. Probably the best thing to do would be to follow this. I don't know if I follow that line. Yeah. Because that would be easy to cut with a knife. Come in here and just... This one's going to be tougher. You got these little raised pieces here. And then the inside. You know, they had to add those there. It couldn't just be a... I mean, it looks cool, but, you know. And I really think I want to keep those lighter. So, I'm debating if I do anything here on these pieces. Like even just a little stripe. Just to give it something. Even if they don't go up all the way, just a little piece. Sure. And you're gonna have all the bronze pieces, bronze gold pieces here. I might hit that with a little bronze. That. These grills here. So this is gonna be steel, steel, steel. Yeah, I might put one little piece on each side there just to tie it in, and then we got the 1, 3, 6, 8 pieces just coming down off the windows. So there's a lot to do. What do I want to tackle first? Well, let's keep finishing these up, and since I know I have to tape this off with regular tape and tape them off with regular tape, because I want that shape is the same that's on the hull parts like this. Best thing to use is Tamiya tape because it's very thin. So let's hit the grills first. We can use that line there. Kind of take 2 pieces, dude. That part of the line right there. Oh no, it fit. The whole thing fits all the way down. Nice. Another thing good about the Tamiya tape is it bends and forms to shapes better. It's so thin. It's like primo for this type of thing. Toothpick. What do I do with that? I wanted to keep working last night, but I had to call at night. Alright, you can look over here to use that reference. Let's first get rid of this excess. Slowly, carefully. Kind of going at a little bit of, you know, instead of going straight down, I kind of go at an angle. 90 degrees, if you will. To the curve. I can really stop at that point. So that's where that ends. And looks like the first section. Toothpick will let me know. I can see the ridge. The other thing is you can see through the Tamiya tape a little bit. It's a little harder in this darker color, but that should be. Yep. First piece out of that. Of course, you're going to lift because there's always a little tab. And then we'll come up because I think that's the other one right there. There we go. There's one grill. I could probably, can I? We'll use this edge for a straight edge. Can I get one of those off of this? That would be super. Oh yes, I can. There. Especially since the Tamiya part, the tape does have, it's a lot more expensive than regular masking tape, so I use it sparingly. It's for situations where it really needs to be. If I'm just straight up just masking something off, you know, just regular old masking tape works great. And same thing with my liner tapes I'm not going to use for, unless I have to. They're a vinyl. Make curves. This can make really good curves out of a small one, and then you just tape with regular masking tape around it. But that works great. So while we're here, let's make sure there's nothing on that edge. It's still a little bit hard to see because it's not such a raised piece, but raised enough that I can kind of see what's going on. See how well I got that. There we go. Not bad at all. Usually I get pieces that stick where you meet in these corners. That is beautiful. I'm going to need a pointier toothpick, I think, here. Good enough to get the idea. That's great. One piece I use for this, I can at least get one of these done, and then, yeah. Okay. Do the other side. Cat hair. Just make sure I go big enough that I can cover both of those pieces. There we go. It's best just work your way down like that. Like I said, the Tamiya tape will bend better than regular masking in these weird complex because it's kind of up and then it drives down again here without having to fold so much. again. Start there. Try to point your X-Acto blade into the corner instead of riding like that. I went a little bit past further than I needed to. There's that panel. There's that one. All works. With little pull up. Corners, there's a little bit of pull up there. Save that because that'll work for that other shape. Oh, there's one that cut all the way down through. There we go. I think it would look cool, those two grills covered like that. Yep. Alright, now let's take this and finish off this side. So I don't have to even cut that part. Toothpick will work better. And you want to trace your shape so you can see where you gotta run your X-Acto blade. I'll usually go down the same directions at first. Even though, whoop, I somehow got off there. I didn't cut in the paint. We'll find out when we unmask it. Sometimes you can't get into the actual corner. I should come back up that way. Well, I should have to do it. See if this one goes. Yeah, it sometimes helps just to hold down. Yeah, see there, I gotta cut a little more. I'm trying not to make deep cuts in the. Sometimes you just gotta hold the corner and it'll pop. It's just that little tab that wants to stick that you couldn't get. And I like to run a toothpick around it to push all the sides to form. And there it is. I'm gonna do that this side. Because even if you have a little bit over, you know, the Tamiya tape, you can actually push it into the shape. Sweet. I'm liking that. Well, yeah, I don't think I have any scraps. This probably could get me another one. Yeah, it is big enough. Do I have one that's big enough from the other? This is such a narrow. What I'm going to do is cover that shape. Yeah, that might have to. Yeah, that one definitely worked. This one's a little iffy. I can get it. Get rid of that extra piece. Be close enough. A little more once I do this. That's the straight edge, and I'll have to actually cut this edge because I had to use. It's just covering that. We're good. It's just covering there. See how that worked. Well, we're still stuck on there, eh? There we go. Get rid of this piece. Now it's time to do the stair stepping. One thing about metallic paint is it gets hard to see stuff because everything's shiny, glaring at you.
It's actually pretty interesting. This episode barely gets combat is basically Archer and Hoshi, fitments being the case before the race.
My big head's in the way, sorry. Just the angle of the light that I actually can see. I think we did it. I think that little piece, I gotta clean that and square it out off that side. Do you see that? Clean this edge up. We gotta definitely cut this. Again, it's hard to see. And since those were tiny pieces, it's hard to make sure you get them out of there. Otherwise, they'll just be floating around until you're painting and you'll find them when there's these little bumps. that has never happened to me before. Good enough. Gets the idea. This one's gonna be easy because I have plenty here. As stated before, Archer and Hoshi go before the various races to difficult on this side, huh? Really? There's not that much holding on there. There we go. Goodness.
During all of this, we also have a really good conclusion to Tucker's arc.
There we go. Just wanted to be difficult, that's all. Always seems like they give you a little hope, and but yay, I like that. Let's see, what else? I want to kind of make sure this is done. Well, while we're here with using the tape, I guess I'm going to do these whole panels. I was thinking about just put squares, but I think I'm going to do whole panels. Should be fairly quick. Definitely need a toothpick to actually point to it. If I can find one. Every time you get one, they break. This makes it so much easier to see. The reptilians are able to not only defend themselves, but they successfully capture Hoshi and escape with the weapon. That's where it ends. Stay tuned because we're going to be getting into a hot and heavy. I'll cut past those lines because it's not going to matter. Toothpick to push those down so it stays square. So it's just easier to on that topic, Hoshi was finally captured in this land. Star Trek Enterprise also does present us with one of the most evil scenes I've ever observed. Honestly, it was well again? It's very classic. I figured I would get some randomness there. I might even leave that one alone, but I was kind of hoping to have something more on that side. There is going to be a big thing sitting here, so I might just leave it alone. No. I do like that though. A little checkerboard kind of thing going on. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, let's do the other side. That way I can go across both of these at one time. Yeah, maybe. Like that. Yep. That makes more sense. So then I can just go straight down with this line. Straight across with this one. I think I got them all. Oops, except for the bottom here. That was quicker. I didn't think of that before. Always thinking in squareness. I can just go at an angle like that. Come up this way. Throw that down. Yep, I like that. I think I'm gonna leave those that alone. I don't want to overdo it. I think I'll hit that there. And I think we'll just try to find a little square. But I'm gonna have to. I don't. They didn't give me thin enough ones for that. So I'll have to dig into my refit box. I think what we should do, take a break. And I think what we should do is get started on all this here. So, take a short break and we'll be right back and we'll get started on all the patterns here, because that's probably going to take a bit. According to this, some of these longer ones, I'll have to cut these here. I'll have to cut in order to get this to center. That's going to be like here. I think it's these two. There's 4 of them. It's going to be these two. It might even be a little bit of this one. I'm not sure. Not sure how that piece and this piece rides around this thing. That if all these 1, 2, 3, 4 are that way, definitely I know it's probably going to be these two. But it could be. This one looks like there's a break in the piece here and here anyway. This one looks like it's one full. It comes around like this, but I don't know if I have to do the same thing. But yeah, we gotta cut the piece there. I don't know if I can get you to see it, but we're gonna have to take that piece. We're gonna have to cut it there in order to make this and this sit level into the actual panels. So not a big deal. And then just use one of these square pieces just to bridge between it. It's simple. He already made like a lot of these pieces to fit this little nub here to extend it. So all is good. So according to this, you know, he made the templates off of a 2-dimensional illustration. And of course, you know, like he says in the instructions, the ship has a curve to it. So something that looks only like that here, once you curve it, it needs more. So, all right, so let's take a break and then we'll start all that. All right, see you soon.